So this is US dollar Japanese yen analysis for Tuesday, the 7th of November. Now, let's just have a look how prices have developed over the past couple of trading sessions. So we were looking for prices the end of last week on Friday. We did say the prices were consolidating pretty close to the very strong horizontal level of resistance in around 1430, more prominent on the daily chart, which I'll show you later. We were consolidating around there. We didn't see much of a sell-off, so pretty much every sell-off was bought back up. And we were expecting NFP to come out. NFP we did expect to be bullish for the dollar, as we'd expect a bounce back after the negative print from the previous month. So we did get a somewhat bullish NFP, and let's just get this on the charts. Give me a second here, and let's just see where that is. It's on the 5th. Interesting. There we are. There's our NFP there. So we did have a bit of a strong upwards move, but again, we weren't able to hold the this 1430. We did see a bit of sell-off coming to the market. Now, we did open on Sunday the 5th, and we did see some buy-side momentum coming to the market, and we did break above this 1430 level. And we did go up. This is why we do our homework, folks. We did go all the way up to this 1474. Again, we've mentioned this for a couple of weeks now. 1474, we're saying that's the very next level we'll be looking at before we get all the way up to 1537. So we did go up to this 1474 that we mentioned, and we did see a sell-off from this 1474. So we went as high as 114.73.7, so pretty much perfect on this 1474. And we have seen some sell-side momentum coming to the market immediately from this 1474. So we've seen prices retrace all the way back down to this, currently at 1374. So from 1474 to 1374, so it's 100 pips from that level there that we've previously identified. So where do we expect prices to go from here? Now, we do have the 200 period average. We're currently trading below the 200 period average, so we have to see if we continue to break down from this 200 period average. We'll be targeting that 1356. If you do, he has acted as support in the past, and it's a very strong level. So we'll see how we react in around 1356. If we do break down, if we do get a bullish buy-side momentum, again, we look to see if that 200 period average is still acting as resistance. If it isn't acting as resistance, we'll be targeting that 1430 level again, as it is very problematic for the US dollar Japanese yen at present. So we'll target 1430 to see if we do break down from that 1430 and target that 1356 again. Now, if we do break up from 1430, we'll be targeting this this level here. It's not in red because I didn't think it was a sufficiently strong level, but it was I think it's a weekly pivot from a couple of months ago now. On the charts, it's here in orange rather than the usual blue, as it was done several months ago. But again, we'll see our price react in around at 1474, whether we do get a shallow pullback and a bullish continuation all the way up to target at 115.37. 115, we'll see our price react around 115 because we do expect some resistance around there, but ultimately 115.37. To the downside, again, we're looking at 1356. If we do break down from 1356, we've got a 400 period average here. It'll likely change a bit on in this hourly time frame. Currently sits down 1336, but we'll see our price react to 200 period average, as we did come pretty close to reacting to it just there. But again, from the 200 period average, before we even look at the next horizontal level all the way down at 112.77, we've got a previous swing lows just there on the chart. So we'll just see where that is, and we'll target that as a potential far end of the range, unless we do get a very strong catalyst. So let's just see where that is. Just bear with me a second here. So that's all the way down to that 113 level. So if we do break down from 113.56, we'll be looking at to see our prices react in around that 113 level before we could potentially target. See our price react around 113 before potentially target 112.77, and we look for some buy side momentum come back into the market to target that 13.56. So we're just going to have a look at the higher time frames. Just bear with me a second here. So we're going to have a look at the daily. just to see how prices are behaving on the daily time frame. So on this daily time frame, this is what I've mentioned before. 1430, very, very strong level. As indicated by these arrows here, I've put on the charts. We've seen a very strong sell-offs from this 1430 level. We've had a bit of a bull flag form here, found support at 200 period average. We've come up to that 1430, and we had a bit of a triple top here because we did see some sell-side momentum coming to the market on this pin bar here. We did retrace, but the retracement was quite shallow before we saw some buy-side momentum come back into this market, which was somewhat surprising. But it was a very bullish sign to see the buy-side momentum come back in almost immediately after just one day of selling, really. We've come back up to this level. We closed pretty close to the level. That's the reason I thought we were going to have a breakout of the level, and we targeted that 1474 and 1537. We closed pretty close to it, and as we can see, we have broke above it, but we were not able to close above it. Currently, we do have we're operating in shadow of on the 6th. We're operating in shadow of this very strong bearish candle here. We did go up all the way up to 1474. And we did actually close bearish, so we've had very strong selling on this candle here. So we weren't able to hold 1430 on the daily chart. We weren't able to even, and we've had some sell side momentum coming from the 1474. So we may see further selling momentum all the way back down to that level down there at 113 if we don't find support at 1356. So that should wrap up the. Actually, before I finish, let's have a look at the weekly time frame. Let's not jump the gun here. So we're going over to the weekly time frame. See where we are. So on this weekly time frame again, let's just grab the pen. We can see that we made new lows. So we've had our lows over here, higher low, and somewhat deceptively we've had a lower low. And from there, we've come up all the way up to this resistance at 1430. We had a bit of a pullback before we got to 1430. Gathered some momentum from this 200 period average, used it as a springboard for a move up to 1430. And again, 1430 is proving somewhat problematic. So unless we break above that 1430, we can target 115.37, 117.53, and 18.61. But until we break above 1430, as long as it continues to be persistently difficult, we have to be flexible in our biases in and around that 1430 level. So before I go, LCS, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.